Greetings once again from Victoria. My name is Garnet Schulhauser, and I am the author of 5 books in the spiritual genre: Dancing on a Stamp, Dancing Forever with Spirit, Dance of Heavenly Bliss, Dance of Eternal Rapture, and Dancing with Angels in Heaven. All of my books deal with my dialogue and astral travels with my spirit guide, Albert. More information can be found about my books, and there's convenient buy links to enable you to buy the book should you choose on my website, which is garnetschulhauser.com. I am also a level 2 quantum healing hypnosis technique practitioner, or QHHT for short, which is a modality that allows clients to regress to a past life and then make contact with their higher selves to get the answers to the questions they bring with them to the session. But before I get to the serious topic for today, as usual, I'd like to relay to you a funny story I heard recently. It seems that one day an Islamic terrorist blows himself up and ascends up to paradise. There he is greeted by Allah and an elderly lady who immediately wraps her frail arms around him, takes out her false teeth, and gives him a big, wet, sloppy kiss. Well, this young terrorist is confused, and he says, "Allah, I don't mean to question your benevolence, but I thought when I arrived there would be waiting for me 72 virgins." Allah shook his head and said, "That's a wide misconception. You've done good, my son, and I'd like you to enjoy the rest of eternity with your 72-year-old virgin." And now for a serious topic for today. I'm going to tell you, relate to you that what happened with a QHHT session with one of my clients recently. As you know, the first part of a QHHT trance will allow the client to regress to one or more past, parallel, or future lives. We don't never know which life is going to be shown. It's chosen for the client by their higher self. Anyway, in this session that I had recently, a young man went into a deep trance. And when he came off the cloud, he found himself standing near the altar of an empty church. He was dressed all in black and was wearing a Roman collar, and he surmised that he was a priest and that he was the pastor for this particular parish. When he went outside, he could see people strolling by and others riding in horse-drawn carriages, and he concluded that he lived somewhere in Europe several hundred years ago. In the next scene, he was waiting in a classroom which adjoined the church, and he was waiting for a nun from the nearby convent to come in and go over the curriculum for a proposed catechism class for the school children. But when this nun walked in, her name was Sister Maria, and the priest had never seen her before, he was stunned. She was drop-dead gorgeous, even though she was all dressed in drab black in her habit. In any event, they huddled together, preparing the curriculum for the catechism class, but he was strangely attracted to this Sister Maria, and he didn't know why. And it seemed that she was attracted to him as well, because whenever they got the chance, they would gaze longingly into each other's eyes, and you could tell that there was a simmering passion there on both their accounts. My client and Sister Maria met several times that week, and whenever they got the chance, they stared into each other's eyes for what seemed like an eternity, with an increasing passion that was thinly disguised as they went about their business. My client was struggling with his feelings. As a priest, he had taken a vow of celibacy, but he could not easily control his feelings for Sister Maria, and he did not know what he could do about it. After a few weeks, my client could no longer stifle his urges, so he invited Sister Maria to his living quarters that evening to finalize some parts of the curriculum. When Sister Maria arrived at my client's living quarters, they stood there face to face, staring longingly into each other's eyes for what seemed like an eternity. Finally, my client broke the silence and said that he had a divine message for Sister Maria. He said that the message was that Sister Maria should engage in sexual intercourse with the priest. To my client's surprise, Sister Maria did not hesitate. She followed him into his bedroom, took off our clothes, and they engaged in passionate lovemaking. This secretive affair went on for several months, until one night when they were in the priest's living quarters and engaging in the carnal pleasures of the flesh, the door was flung open, and in marched the Mother Superior from the convent. The Mother Superior was apoplectic with rage as she marched towards the bed and began to stab the couple with a long knife that she had brought with her. She was incensed that they had committed the heinous sin of breaking their celibacy vows. My client lovingly clutched Sister Maria as things started to go black, and then he left his body and was floating near the ceiling, staring down at his bloody corpse. Sister Maria's soul had also left her body, and together they held hands and moved up, floated up towards the bright light. As they looked back in those lives, my client said they did not have any regrets about what had happened. But when we connected with my client's higher self, he was told that Sister Maria and he had had numerous lives before that where they had been lovers or spouses, and that was why they had an immediate, passionate attraction for one another. And then the higher self told my client that Sister Maria in that life was his wife in the current life. But when my client came out of trance, he said to me that from now on he planned to avoid nuns, especially those carrying knives. Well, that's all for now, folks. Enjoy your journey, and remember to keep on dancing.